Hey, welcome to Tell Me How You're Mighty, real talk about cheating. I'm Tracy Shorn, the blogger known as Chump Lady, where I implore people to leave cheaters and gain lives.
And I'm Sarah Gorrell, radio broadcaster by day, single mother of 4. And 13 years ago, my ex walked out on his family for his affair partner. And it didn't feel like it at the time, but my life is so much better without him.
And we're here to tell you that you are mighty. We survived infidelity, and you can too. And this is our podcast. Welcome. This week, we're doing stupid things affair partners say. And when I originally put this challenge out there, I was thinking more of things that schmoopies say to chumps. But some people took it as just stupid things their exes said to them, or that the affair partner said to them, or back and forth. So we just opened it up because there was so much stupid. Sarah, in your case, did the affair partner ever reach out to you and say stupid things?
Oh, no. We've had no communication whatsoever. I can give you a couple of stupid things my own ex said to me. Firstly, he claimed that he had the affair because it was so difficult for him that in order to go out, we had to have babysitters for his own children. And the other thing was the tearful ripping up of the divorce papers when he said, "You've broken our vows. It was supposed to be for better or for worse." Sort of removing the whole element of the affair. I'm sure you must have, in your role as Chump Lady and with your own experience, have heard some great pearls of wisdom.
I have heard some whoppers for sure. And I did have a mistress that did like to communicate with me on occasion. And the worst was he would say the affair was over, she's crazy, blah, 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 blah. And then she would surreptitiously email me to tell me it was still on. But when she emailed me, it was as Samuel Clemens, which is the real name of Mark Twain, thereby trying to ruin Mark Twain to me. My dad's family's from Elmira, New York, which is steeped in Mark Twain-ishness. So I have personal connections to the name Samuel Clemens, and I'm like, do not ruin that for me. So I've taken it back. Anyway, it was just weird. For the pick-me dance portion, it was awful.
There seems to be an awful lot of time and effort gone into this strange behaviour. So we've got loads of these. So should we start with listening to some of the other ones that have come in? This first one is from Cara.
Some of the stupid things that my husband said to me was when I confronted him about all the affairs and said to him, instead of cheating on me, why didn't you just leave? And his response was, "I'm not a coward. Cowards would have left." I paused and looked at him and said, "Oh, you think you're not a coward for having multiple affairs, specifically affairs with your nurses? Period." I also asked him how he was able to convince his nurses to have affairs with him, which of course they were willing participants. But he basically went into this whole explanation about how me being in menopause was just utterly disgusting to him. And all the women he had affairs with understood that.
This guy, just way to lean into the misogyny, right? It's menopause, right? All the women understand that they're disgusting. And thereby, they're going to be disgusting after 50 or something? Just divorce him on that alone.
That is just staggering, isn't it? The women that he had affairs with understood that. Really? Buying into this whole idea that you've got to sort of sell by date.
Liars lie. I doubt they said that. He's just being cruel and stupid. But then the other thing is, and this is so common, right, is he's painting himself as noble, that he wasn't a coward. He didn't quit on his marriage. Like, why didn't you just leave? Well, because I'm not a coward.
It's an interesting idea, isn't it? Cowards would have left. Actually, no, it takes a lot more strength to leave and to get on and manage your own life. Because what I would suspect happened in all of this is that the antics went on, the affair went on with people who were pre-menopausal age. And then he was leaving the menopausal individual to get up and do all the wife work.
Yes, of course. You go a wife appliance. Right. They go till they drop, right? But again, like I said, a way to lean into the misogyny, the transactionalism, just shows you their mindset.
And also the idea that sort of women go off the boil. What about men? This sort of whole silver fox idea that men get better with age and that they can get themselves a nice, younger, upgraded model. Largely, because I've seen this when you go on online dating sites, which I've never dared to venture into, but I've witnessed some of the goings on through friends. And you see these quite elderly looking individuals that tick that they do not interested in anyone over the age of 40. And you think, what planet are you inhabiting here?
Planet patriarchy. I don't know. They want their young Fang. I don't know the answer to that one.
Well, we've got many, many wonderful examples of the kind of thing that is said. Let's hear what Jen has to say.
So many years ago, before I got enough sense to leave and divorce this fuckwit, my cheater ex and I decided we were going to save our marriage and give in to the reconciliation industrial complex. He ended it with his affair partner, and her response was to send me a scathing email. The subject line was, "Congratulations, you won." In the email, she painted herself as a horrific victim to him going behind her back and talking to me and lying to her about it. And the part I will never forget is she said in it, "You had no right to interfere in our relationship." So I, his wife, had no right to interfere in their relationship. Anyhow, I haven't spoken to either of them in years. I hope they have the lives that they deserve.
Yeah, you won. You won the pick me dance. He's all yours. No, it's a prize not worth having, as I like to say a lot. But the whole, you have no right to interfere in our relationship. I actually got that too from the other woman. This is not a new one that I've heard of. What they have is sacred, and you, the spouse, are the interloper.
Just an astonishing level of entitlement. Saying to someone's wife that they have no right to interfere in the relationship. Does this person not understand the concept of marriage?
Well, the way I think cheaters explain to their affair partners what's going on is that they're mating in captivity, right? They're capped in this horrible, horrible condition. They're chained and bound, and they can only be liberated by the affair and the affair partner. So this person's being fed all this bullshit, and they're stupid enough to believe it. So I'm sure to this crazy woman, she's like, yeah, you're interfering. Like, let him go. Let him go. Release them. It's madness, right? But I think it just shows what manipulation and humiliation will do to the brain to make people behave this way. It's crazy. It's just sadistic power plays, I think. We have another one here from Daphne.
My fuckwit had an affair with a girl that was our daughter's age. For Christmas, he bought her sex toys. For me, he bought knives. She told me all about it, and she told me everything, actually. And when I confronted him, he refused to take accountability, of course, calling us both whores, and didn't even realize that I could have stuck him and got off just like she did.
Ooh, dear.
We really need to do the Christmas gifting again. Like getting knives. Knives? You would be so tempted to use those knives. She gets sex toys and you get knives.
I just find it really disturbing buying her these toys, especially she was about the same age as his own daughter. There's just something about the whole thing, isn't there?
Right, but then he calls them both whores, again with the misogyny. But I am glad the affair partner told her everything that was going on. And you never know if they're doing that with the purest of intentions. But I always think it's good to have the information.
I think that quite often it isn't the purest of intentions. It's the whole pick-me dance thing, trying to get one up on you, trying to prove that you should just disappear into the distance and not try and interfere in their glorious relationship.
No, right, you're past your sell-by date, menopausal lady. Exit stage right. Yeah, who needs you?
Shall we hear what Cheryl's got to say?
After my first D-Day, I stupidly confronted the affair partner. Her response to me was, "Oh yeah, I knew he had somebody else, but that's no concern of mine," which I thought was particularly disgusting. It reminded me of he was inside robbing the bank. I was just outside driving the getaway car. I didn't actually rob the bank. It's no concern of mine that he came running out with a bag of cash. That was how I felt about it.
Yeah, that's no concern of mine. That's no concern of mine that he's married. What? I mean, at least she's being honest. I mean, that's exactly how she probably really feels. It's like, I don't care who I heard.
I find that staggering that you wouldn't care. I mean, I know a lot of affair partners go into it with their eyes wide open, knowing that there's someone else and thinking that there's somebody more magnificent, glorious. There's reasons for the affair. But to actually be told about it and just say it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, but there's a lot of women's magazine articles and fake feminism, which I rail against because, I think honest to God feminists don't believe in abusive power dynamics. But it's just kind of like what he tells other people is his business. What we have, it transcends that. It's like, I don't own him. you know?
I find that sometimes you see these articles, and the ones I find really intriguing are where you get women who've been mistresses for a variety of different men, and they always say, I haven't been breaking up marriages, I've been supporting and saving marriages.
Oh, God.
And I just find that really a disturbing thought that people would genuinely
Yes, you
believe
have a
that.
magic pussy, right? It has healing properties. Someone just has to fuck you and they're cured, they're healed. I mean, you really ought to just set up a medicine show and go around the country. What are they thinking? It was really madness, which is why we collect this, right? Just when we think we can't be outdone, we've got more stories. This one's from Amanda.
I think the stupidest thing my fuckwit said to me wasn't so much what he said, it's what he wrote in an email after I had discovered the infidelity and asked him to move out. He said, I know you're hurt and I know you're angry, but we will all be best friends someday and laugh about this. And I just find that so infuriating. And part of his email was that I'll be better off and I'll appreciate what he did for me, kind of setting me free. And what is so aggravating about that is that he's right in that I am happier and relieved that I've discovered who he really is and that he's gone. But the stupid thing was that he thought that I would like her and that we'd all be best friends.
Yeah, this comes up a lot. This whole like, oh, we're going to look back at this and laugh and we're going to be the best of friends. And really, my cheating on you was all for the best because you would never have known this wonderful new life without me breaking your heart. And then they seem responsible. I mean, it would be like your ex going, aren't you glad that, I'm out of your life so you can go on and achieve?
Do you know though, Tracy, the thing is that I actually am quite grateful now to both my ex and his affair partner. You just think, well, just let them get on with it. I didn't realise at the time, and I absolutely understand the hurt. But now I just think, oh, thank you so much. I was released. But to actually have the audacity to write it in an email in that kind of manner, especially if you write things in an email, people can read them over and over again and continue to realise how absurd what you're saying actually is.
Yeah. And well, and she feels just the way you feel, which is like, I hate that he's right about this. Yeah, this breaking up was the best thing, but I'll be goddamned if I will give him the satisfaction. And it's another thing for the person who did the harm to take credit for your resilience and your comeback story. I've made this analogy in my book. I said it's like the drunk driver congratulating themselves because you've become a great public speaker at those Mothers Against Drunk Driving rallies. It's like, no, you did the harm. Like, you're the bad actor, okay? You're not the good guy. Let's be very clear.
I remember my ex saying to me, but you're my best friend and we could be friends again. And I think that they don't quite understand the whole concept of friendship and how friendship relies on trust and honesty and being there for people, not flitting around behind their back and cheating on them.
Right. But you see, that's your definition of cheating, or rather of friendship. And I think his definition of friendship is you are of use to me. My friends are people who are of use to me. And you could continue to be of use to me. He's not considering your feelings about this. And I think it's really common for chumps to be very confused on that point and very messed up. And then when you're in the bargaining stage of grief, you think, oh, well, maybe I can salvage some of this. Like we can't be partners, we can't be spouses, but we could still be friends, and we could raise the kids together.
Well, again, it buys into that special prize. This is somebody who's so special that just have to have a little piece of their life is something you should be grateful for. You may have been pushed back and been relegated to a different role, but lucky you, there's still an opportunity to be in this magnificent life.
Yeah, fuck that. No, we don't want them. Go away. Okay, on that note, we hear from Michelle.
Oh, yes, Schmoopy and I met for a coffee to discuss my son that was being forced straight into her house with her two boys. That meeting with her was a waste of time. She made sure to tell me that my 10-year-old son would get over it and that kids are resilient. My son is on the spectrum. No way was he going to just get over it, especially since Schmoopy had fuckwit move out of our home in a flash, and he was so traumatized and now had to go to therapy. I recognized that everything she was saying was just parroting fuckwit. It was all gaslighting BS. The funny part was she was acting really smug, but her hands were shaking violently and she nearly knocked her teeth out with a glass bottle of some drink she bought. I ended it abruptly with, well, I guess that's it. Bye. I stood up and left. And spoiler alert, 10 years later, my now 20-year-old still hates her.
Oh, this is so common, isn't it? Kids are resilient. You hear this over and over again. It's fine. I can wreak havoc in your child's life, but it's fine. Kids are resilient. They'll cope. They'll manage.
Right. Well, they'll manage by not wanting to have anything to do with you. That's what you should expect, not that these children want you to hang out with or be with. And the insensitivity of trying to force a 10-year-old to just accept it, that's a lot to lay on a kid that age. Get over it, 10-year-old. I mean, back off. And it didn't go as I think Schmoopy intended, right?
No. And well, there's quite a lot of standout examples there, but these are not uncommon, are they? I mean, I would imagine that you've heard a variation on these thoughts over and over again over the years that you've been chump lady.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, the funny thing is, in this, Michelle's talking about this other woman being very smug and that they're having this meeting. It's that when the relationship blows up on them, I've had many other women write to me, like, can you believe that he lied to me? And they think that they're part of the chump tribe. They feel like indignant and that they've been manipulated and the whole thing. And now they want sympathy from you and I. I mean, that's crazy, but that is how many of them see it. So whatever, you're smug. I don't control other people's idiocy. If anyone's dealing with this, just not delete whatever you have to do and move forward. Reach out to us. You can check us out at tellmehowyourmighty.com or check out the blog at chumplady.com. I'm always open to your suggestions there.